Today we're going to talk about the 15 key principles that you will need to use to make a killer landing page. This is something we used over and over to hook people in, to get people to buy, and it's responsible for over 30 clients growth over the last 12 months. So I'm just going to dive straight into it, not actually spend time on any fluff. Here is the list. You'll see 15 points here. These are all very, very important when you are building a landing page. I'm going to dive into the first 5 because they are really, really important. But if you want access to all of them, you will have to look out for our course that's coming later on. But for now, just dive into what we have here and you're going to learn a lot from it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the visual hierarchy of a landing page. And when I say visual, it's really important to understand that it's not related to just content and not just images, it's everything you actually see in a landing page. And this example is such a good one because it's copy, but it has different sizes as it relates to scale. And you can see that clearly the first thing you read is you, because we know that we have to read from the top. That's just a best practice, but also because it has a specific color and it is bigger, which means that scale is really important for a visual hierarchy. So that's really something I want you to keep in mind, and those are rules you need to apply. So if you want people to take a certain action on your website, make sure that you make what you want people to do bigger. That's the first lesson really in visual hierarchy. But also it's important to make things that are less important smaller. And as we can see here, the actual, meat and paragraph like here, that is much, much smaller. And that is because it's not as important for them to read and take into consideration. When we talk about visual hierarchy, we also have other things we can look at. You got scale we just talked about, but you also have proximity. If you make a button and there's a lot of white space around it, you're signaling to your visitors that it's really important what's here. But if it's all cluttered up on your website and there's a lot of things close to your button, you're basically telling them this is not super important. There's other things to keep in mind. And lastly, you also have contrast. And this one is really important, and a lot of people forget about that. But if you utilize good contrasting, people will take more notice of your specific CTA button. And that's why everyone keeps saying, oh, you need to make your CTA green or orange. But reality is that you just need to make it stand out from the rest of your website. And that's how people can really see it fast. So that's how we look at visual hierarchy, and that's the first lesson. Now let's look at some of the bad examples, because there's certainly a lot of them. Here we have Chase, which a lot of people will know about. Look how cluttered this page is. You have, find the right credit card, learn more, and you also have lock-in right now if you're a current customer, right? But also you can choose what's right for you, and you got 5 different options. You can not even click on them, and then there's more links and so on. It's all over the place. Let's just say that. And the right way to do this is, go back and think about what's the number one action we want people to take. And if we know that there are returning visitors and new customers, then we will want to hide the actions like the login behind a button so we don't have so much space. And we might also say, okay, for new visitors, for new customers, here's a flow for them. So 2 buttons. Once you click those buttons, more options open up to them. So this is definitely too much. Here's another example as well, and it's really quite funny that is actually an architecture and design school, but it's not always easy to do what's right? Here you just see it's way too cluttered. There's no scaling hierarchy here like we talked about before, so it's very important for me to say what is the number one action. There's so much clutter, and remember we talked about proximity here as well, and again they're not doing any white spacing to show what is really important. And then you can take your first step today, but it's so hard to read and it's easy to miss, and then you got all these things you need to fill out, which again makes it so that it feels overwhelming and people don't take action. So these are really, really good examples for how to not do things. You basically want to do the opposite. Second thing I really want to talk about today is everything above the fold. I'm telling you, if you have a landing page right now or product page and it's not working out, go back and look at the content above the fold. And of course, content above the fold is everything you see on your website that is loaded instantly when you go to it, right? So That means, on a newspaper, everything you can read before you fold the newspaper. And on the website, you can easily, by the way, find this on your own. You can go to any website. Let's just go to On It Supplements. And you right click on the website and you click inspect, and then you will see it on mobile, by the way, so you can see everything above the fold on mobile. And if you are on desktop, you can obviously just look at your browser and it will instantly show you what is above before you scroll down, right? So that's just a little easy trick here to do a search on what you see on your site. But let's look at some actual examples of how to nail that section. Here you see, let's go back here. Here you see an easy approach to creating a powerful above the fold section. You got your value hook. You got powerful plant-based energy shots. When the visitor goes to your website, they will spend 3 to 5 seconds to analyze, do you have what I need? And is this something for me, right? And instantly you will know that they're selling energy shots and they're plant-based. So that means we answer that question very easily. And look at how powerful it is when you use scaling. We can see this is it's the biggest size font on the website. Then we use smaller fonts under because it's less important. It's supporting evidence, it's supporting information, but also a lot of white spacing or just empty spacing. There's nothing up here. There's nothing over here on the side. It's easy to digest. And then there's just one call to action, which I always recommend. Have your call to action above the fold, because it's easy for people to then take action. But it's not always the case. It depends on the complexity of your product, and that is something you learn about if you dive into our premium course as well, because here we talk about complexity, and you can also watch one of the other modules called complexity levels, which is really, really important too. Second example here, this is a different type of landing page. This is a listicle, as we call them, because it lists reasons why people want to buy a product, or 7 reasons why celebrities can't live without, 10 reasons why this coffee is on everyone's wish list, and the list goes on and on and on. What is really great here is, again, we're seeing scaling done right. We're seeing proximity been doing right. And also we got a nice hook here as well, because we got the 10 reasons, which makes me interesting. I'm always curious, like, what are the 10 reasons? And I already see the first reason, and it's as fast, as easy, and most convenient coffee ever. That makes me want to challenge it. Like, how is that possible? And now I want to read why it is. So that's the hook right there as well. And that's part of the value proposition, actually, as a company. Javi, which is a coffee company, their idea is, let's make the fastest, easiest, and most convenient coffee. And they're saying it right there. So everyone that hits that page will read that. And that's really, really great. Here we see another one as well from them, fastest, easiest, most convenient again, but here they're highlighting the product. They're using the same ideas before, a little bit of trust, credibility, reviews. I really love this. This is great. Here we got another one, say goodbye to acne in just 3 minutes. So can you see how above the fold always have a hook? It always has why you should explore it more. It always kind of alludes to what could be coming next by showing something interesting. So that's what you really need to do. And most of the time when we work with clients and their landing page is not working, we can go in and see that the bounce rate is too high, and that the scroll rate, we can see that through heat maps, scroll maps, is too low. And then we will know that either the offer is not good or the above the fold section is not good either. So those things we work with on most clients. Let's proceed a bit, because the next thing you really want to work on is product benefits. And that's, a step further onto the landing page. It is really important to get the LP to work. It is explaining with value and with benefits how it is your product actually gives value to the customer, right? And the 4 reasons that we've seen from hundreds of landing pages that we have done is that they either are really, really boring, and we see that almost like, it's a spec list or it's an ingredient list. People, and it's, this is a wall of text that you see, and those are not product benefits. That's like a spec sheet. That's what you want to hide behind, like a tab called ingredients for specs, right? Then there's a lack of future pacing in the benefits. So future pacing is a whole subject on its own, and we'll get into that in another video. But future pacing is, what will my life look like when I consume your product, when I use your product? So you want to sell them that vacation, basically, right? Like, what does it look like when I'm laying on the beach with a drink in my hand? So future pacing is really, really important. And so don't just say what it does to you when you buy it, but also the benefits of like after you've been using it for 30 days and so on. So you want to already tell that to them. Then it's incorrectly located on the website. You know, it's way too down. Like you want to make sure those things, they pop up right away and people actually get to read them. So I would say the first 50% of the landing page, you will need to put in your product benefits. And then the final thing is just like, you know, it's hard to read, the colors are bad. You know, we talked about visual hierarchy already. So you are going to really, really need to nail this if you want to succeed with your landing page. So make sure you do that and you're going to be in a really good spot. Here's an example. Again, I love this because you use icons and you're basically talking about the benefits in a really nice way that I can relate to it. So that's great because they're using at least the last element as well of creating a visually appealing way to show off your benefits. So try with icons and try to sum them up. You don't want to write a 30-word sentence here. It should be short and straight to the point. See another one here. Again, with some little, we love these little tick symbols here, but you also see the icons. I can tell you, most people read these icons and then most people will not read this because this all becomes a wall of text really quickly. So the brand could improve here, but I love that they added the icons because at least that will be written. And look at that, ingredients are hidden behind the tab. That's super, super important. You don't want to like expose that right away. Unless it's really important and it's like central to your brand. But then you would write it as a benefit, like all natural ingredients, no perfumes, no alcohol, whatever it might be. So that's another good example, but with a little bit of room for improvement. The last thing I want to show you here in product benefits is how you can go from something really boring to something really amazing. And this is an exercise you can do. So you write in first your products and service, then you write in your feature, and then you write what is the advantage, and then you convert that to compelling sales message. So bicycle is kind of like our product or service, but the feature we want to highlight is that it has a 21-pound titanium frame. But if you write that as product benefits, oh, it has 21-pound titanium frame, 99% of people will not understand the benefit of that. Like there will be a 1% that, you know, they're super into the weight and all that stuff. They will know it, but most people won't. So you won't convert well with that. And then we have, you know, the next thing, which is not bad, lightweight frame that makes riding your bike easier. That's pretty good. It's a little bit weak as well. Like we could do better. Achieve faster speeds with less effort and hit that personal best you've been training for. Now, that's a product benefit I would buy, right? Like that's just what I want. I'm gonna hit my personal best, man. It's so specific. It makes me already dream about it. Kind of alludes to what is coming up if I buy this product 30 days, 60 days down the road. That is what actually sells a product. So if you do that for all your product benefits, like boom, 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 and with some icons, good spacing stuff, you're gonna see some really great results. So definitely keep that up. All right, let's move on. So the guarantees and the irresistible offer. I can't even stress how important this is. It will be an underwhelming performance if I try to explain it, because the full section is really important, but usually you add in your offer there as well. And if you don't have a good offer, if you don't have good guarantees, you're gonna kill your conversion rate. So this has been very, you know, it's been promoted a lot lately. A lot of influencers are talking about it. Alex Hormozi, and every sales coach out there is like, oh, you need to make your irresistible offer. You need to make it a no-brainer offer. But there is just something about this that really, really works. So you want to make sure that we actually get this done correctly, right? So let me just get back here. So let's dive into it. So what is a guarantee? What is an irresistible offer that actually makes a difference? The absolute best guarantee you can make to customer is not your typical 30-day back guarantee, which everyone does. Have you not seen that on every site by now? That, yeah, 30-day money back guarantee. It literally lost all its meaning. Now it's time to upgrade that money back guarantee to something personal, something that means something to that specific brand, something that makes them curious. I'll give you an example of how one of the biggest fast food chains in the world did this, and that's one of the reasons why they're so successful today. But the sort of like template you want to use is this. get X result in Y time frame, or insert risk reversal, like full refund. So that's sort of the template you want to use. So get X result, like that's something your product does, after, let's say, it's like it makes you lose weight, it makes you hit your personal PR, it makes your skin look beautiful, it makes you, it takes away your acne, whatever it might be. And then time frame. If you don't have time frame in there, people will not understand if this works or not, and it gives them anxiety to not understand when it is they can actually see the benefits of this. So it's really, really important that you get this done, and I'll definitely recommend that you add in a time frame that you can deliver on. So you don't want to like lie or anything like that, but see how you can change your service or offering to make sure that there is a time frame in there. And then add in your risk reversal, which is, either get your full money back, but that's not very strong. So I'll show you some examples. So lose 9 kilos in 2 months, or we'll pay you a 1-month subscription. It's supposed to say with a personal trainer, right? That's powerful because it's personal, and we could just say your money back, and that's also fine, but try to make it interesting and try to make them, oh, that's a huge upside. Even if I don't lose 9 kilos, I'll definitely lose the 9 kilos because I will have a personal trainer, right? So that's really cool. And then this is one for like, if you're into running, reach your next PR in 3 months or less, or we'll buy you a pair of Nike Alpha Flies. It will not mean anything to people that are not into running, but people that love running, they will understand these shoes are like, $400 or whatever. And those shoes actually make a difference. So if you were selling a product that would support the PR, that could be software, that could be something else like a watch, whatever it might be, a training plan. A training plan would actually be freaking amazing for this offer. And then them having some shoes that actually make a difference for them, that is so relevant. And you will really see much, much better returns with this. So yeah, that's how you want to construct your guarantee and offer. And please, if you don't have this, if it doesn't work right now, landing page or whatever, it is because your guarantee is not working, or your offer is not, or you're above the fold section. So you can just go back and see how you can rework that. This is the one that Burger King used, get your pizza in 30 minutes or less, or the pizza is on us. And Burger King, I don't know why I said Burger King. This is Domino's, obviously. Domino's did this for many, many, many years. And people loved it because they would literally time it after they would order the pizza. They would wait for the pizza to show up and see if they actually got it on time. And even if they got it on time, the exhilarating 30 minutes they were waiting to see if it would be free or not is already an experience on their own. So that is why you want to add in something exciting, something people will get uplifted by, even if you fail to deliver your service. And I also have one last remark on this. Good guarantees, good offers makes the bar higher for your business, right? It makes you deliver better. If you commit to delivering something within a time frame with certain results, it means you will go back into your system and think about, how could I actually deliver this? How could I actually set up my fulfillment, set up my product and services to reach and to give people this experience? So it's a win-win for both parties. Setting high expectations for yourself will actually help the customer and your own business. So think about that when you're actually constructing this. Last thing is the value proposition. And value proposition, you have either a hook or an explainer. It's a little bit like an offer. It's a little bit like an irresistible offer, but sometimes it can be less than that as well, which is something you use throughout the website. So in e-commerce, a value proposition is a statement that identifies clear, measurable, and demonstrable benefits when buying your product's benefit. So you will see a lot of businesses using this value proposition. So this is what they stand for as a brand. So think of it. An offer is specific to one specific product on their website, which could be something related to a mattress, right? But what do they stand for as a brand is no more sleepless nights. That's what they want to be known for. If you had to remember Casper in 4 words, it would be no more sleepless nights. And it's a really great value hook, right? Because you can use it in so many places on your website and your email and so on, and people can remember those 4 words easily. So that is what a value proposition hook is, and you will want that on your landing pages because it's something you can use above the fold. is something you can use throughout the landing page at the top. And then you want to support that hook by the explainer version of it. So the value proposition hook and the value proposition explainer. This is where you take that no more sleepless nights and you actually explain how that's possible through the technology you're using, through the services you're using. So you want to use both. That's really important for a really good landing page. All right, this video was way too long, 20 minutes, but I went through visual hierarchy, everything about the full, benefits, guarantees, value proposition. These are the things that are also important for a landing page, but that is just something I'll be launching in my premium course. But you already have so much to work with, and this is easy for you to implement already. Future pacing, we talked about it quickly, but the other things kind of make sense. I don't really need to explain it to you right now. But if you want to know how to apply scarcity, how to apply bundling, I was supposed to say bundling, and pricing, discounts, and all that stuff, then there is an option for you, which is the premium course. So anyway, stay tuned for that, but get to work and get these things implemented. I promise you, you'll do really, really well.